Hi friends, it's your Director of Marketing at Grey Ghost Vineyards, and it is, what day are we on? Friday. I know we're all losing track of time here during this coronavirus. We are on Friday, April the 17th. Yes. So I am out here in the vineyard. Let's turn this camera around. Owner and winemaker Kellert. And the reason we're out in the vineyard today is I think a lot of you know that we had a frost and freeze warning last night here in Virginia, and specifically in our area. So I came out here with Al so that we could see what's going on and fill you guys in today. Al?
Thanks, Amy. This is a critical time for the vineyard. One of the things we always worry about this time of year is late frosts. And we did get a heavy frost last night. What I'm doing is standing out here in the Chardonnay, and I'm going to try to give you an example of what I look for and approximate what damage we did have as a result of this. If you take a real careful look, you'll see that a spur has been pruned back so that we're going to end up with two buds. And if you look very, very carefully, you're going to notice that both of these two buds have now broken, but there's no visible damage of anything on frost. You can always also see here you have a shoot. What's kind of interesting about this one is you can actually see the secondary bud coming out. So if something had happened to this one, that secondary bud would then grow. So you can see just from this little area there was no damage. Now, we did have damage in the vineyard. So we're going to move down just a little bit and come over to this vine where you can see again the shoots that are growing. They're looking very healthy. And then all of a sudden we come to one that has damage. And this was damaged by frost. You'll notice it's starting to turn black. Ultimately, that shoot will fall off. When we prune with the idea that we could end up suffering frost damage. So there's a number of these buds that we're going to be brushed off anyway. And that's after we pass the frost period, which is normally May 10th. At that point in time, we begin to thin the shoot. What the frost did is basically did a little bit of thinning for us. I'm estimating, based on walking through today, that we probably had less than 1% damage of our buds, and a lot of it is because these vines were so old that they budded out late, which was to our favor. Now our biggest concern from here on out is that we don't get another frost as these buds become little shoots, because especially Chardonnay is very susceptible to frost damage.
Al, can you explain why we're looking at this at 1:15 in the afternoon and what you would have seen this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning?
If I would have come out immediately in the morning when the frost had already just hit, none of these shoots would have shown any sign of being nipped. They would not show any signs of being dead. It takes a little bit of time for the vine to actually die, and that's basically, or the shoot actually die, and that's actually what's happened. So I have to actually wait for about 4 or 5 hours before you can see the true damage in the vineyard.
So we know a lot of people were worried about what was going to happen last night on the weather. How are you feeling this morning after waking up to the chill?
Well, outside of being a little bit cool right now, I feel really good. I think we survived it. The Chardonnay was the only vines that I was worried about. Everything else was either behind the Chardonnay or is not as susceptible to winter damage, late frost. So I feel very comfortable. Now the critical thing is to see if we can get ourselves through the rest of April.
All right, is there anything else you want to share with us?
I think that pretty well does it. Now I'll have to get back to work. But thank you all so much for joining us, and thanks for taking time to see what's actually going on in the vineyard.